Welcome back to History Unveiled. Today we're opening a door most history books keep locked. The hidden world of Wild West brothels through rare photographs that survived over a century. Before we begin, hit subscribe and share this video to help preserve these untold stories. Now let's step inside. The 1890s Klondike Gold Rush brought more than miners north. Madam Kate ran a traveling brothel, following the money wherever strikes happened. These women didn't wait for opportunity. They chased it across frozen wilderness, setting up business in tent cities that vanished as fast as they appeared. The business wasn't always mobile, though. Captured here in the late 1800s, women on the balcony, men gathered below. This wasn't shame. This was business in plain sight, advertised openly. The frontier operated by different rules than Eastern churches wanted to admit. But advertising was only half the equation. An Arizona working woman poses without apology. No hidden face, no turned head. She met the camera straight on. That boldness could get a woman killed in some towns or make her wealthy in others. Not every client wanted boldness. Some preferred discretion. Photographed inside a Kentucky establishment, a gentleman waits in what looks like any respectable parlor. The finest brothels mimic proper sitting rooms perfectly. Wealthy clients demanded discretion and comfort. The line between proper society and the sporting world was thinner than most admitted. The Northern Territories offered a different frontier entirely. Alaska in the 1890s. This saloon girl worked the edge of the world alongside men, just in ways history prefers to forget. Saloons offered more than whiskey. Did opportunity bring them here, or desperation? Whatever brought them, survival demanded adaptation. Two Alaskan women lift their skirts for the photographer without hesitation. Shocking by Victorian standards, routine for survival here. The frontier stripped away pretense fast. Modesty was a luxury most couldn't afford, but some places tried to control what they couldn't stop. Storyville, New Orleans, 1912. The only legal red light district in North America. For 5 years, the government admitted what existed everywhere else in secret. Then morality crushed honesty again in 1917. Legal or not, women still needed strategies to survive. This portrait shows formal attire, perfect posture, direct gaze. She could pass for a schoolteacher or merchant's wife. That was often the point. Survival meant reading the room and becoming whatever the moment required. Recreation mixed with business in unexpected ways. Captured in a Klondike pool hall that doubled as a brothel. Notice the blend of leisure and business. Men came for billiards and stayed for company. Everything in frontier towns served multiple purposes. Behind the public spaces lay private realities. Inside a Texas brothel room, plain walls, simple furniture, one bed. The myth shows velvet and luxury. Reality was far more ordinary. Most women worked in conditions barely better than the streets outside. Appearances mattered though, especially what clients saw first. White gowns became their uniform across the West. Not accidental. White signaled availability while maintaining an illusion of purity. The contradiction was the entire point. Some women rose above the trade to control it entirely. Belle breezing in her private parlor, Lexington, Kentucky. She ran her third and most famous house until death in 1940. A nationally known madam who built an empire. How many women had that kind of power anywhere else? The most successful houses offered luxuries most Americans never saw. A Montana parlor house in 1905. Comfortable furniture, decent lighting, multiple rooms. The higher-end establishments competed on comfort. Wealthy clients expected refinement, not squalor. One woman revolutionized what luxury meant. Fanny Porter changed the game in San Antonio. Widowed and ambitious, she offered chilled champagne in crystal, silk sheets, plush carpets. She created luxury experiences for premium prices. Business innovation happened here too. European influence transformed American expectations. French cabaret performers brought theatrical sensuality that shocked and fascinated Americans equally. The line between entertainment and prostitution blurred deliberately. Scandal sold tickets and brought clients through brothel doors. Some women's stories became legendary. Big Nose Kate, born Mary Catherine Aroni in Hungary. 16 when she reached Kansas. She worked Fort Griffin, Texas, and won Doc Holliday's heart. Their relationship lasted until his death. Even killers needed someone to trust. The French influence wasn't limited to entertainment. French demi-monde women commanded higher prices across the West. Better hygiene, superior skills, fashionable presentation. They ran segregated upscale houses that shamed American competition. Cultural sophistication translated directly to profit. Outlaws and working women found each other naturally. Laura Bullion worked Fanny Porter's San Antonio brothel. There she met outlaw William News Carver from Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch. Romance bloomed in unlikely places. Outlaws and working women understood each other in ways respectable society never could. For most women, anonymity was safer than fame. She stands before her establishment without hiding. This was her workplace, her income, her identity. The West allowed women certain freedoms Eastern cities denied. The price was steep, but the choice was theirs. Some women refused to hide at all. Hands on hips, direct stare, fashionable dress. Confidence radiates from this portrait. These painted ladies knew their worth and demanded it. In parlor houses across the frontier, women built lives on their own terms, however brief those terms might be. The French style went beyond business practices. This Belle Époque postcard captures the French artistic approach around 1900. A woman reclines in an ornate armchair wearing period lingerie, arms raised in a pose both artistic and suggestive. These images showed how Parisian courtesans presented themselves as sophisticated artists, not just working women. American boomtowns imported these French ideas eagerly. Most establishments kept things simpler. Captured in the early 1900s, a group of saloon women in revealing dresses typical of frontier entertainment venues. Notice the confidence in their stance. These weren't isolated individuals. They formed communities and supported each other in ways respectable society never acknowledged. Behind the public performances lay private worlds, an elaborately decorated brothel parlor from the early 1900s. A young woman sits in an off-the-shoulder top and striped stockings. Settings like this were common in upscale districts like Storyville or Cripple Creek. Women presented fashionably to clients who paid premium prices for the illusion of romance. Some women became legends in their time. Julia Bulett of Virginia City, Nevada during the Comstock Lode era. She wasn't just known for her profession. Townspeople remembered her genuine generosity and community involvement during the 1860s boom. Her murder in 1867 shocked the entire territory. Social life revolved around saloons. An early 1900s scene shows patrons and women toasting together in a lively saloon. Notice how freely they mix, glasses raised. This atmosphere defined frontier towns. Isolation broke down barriers that rigid society maintained elsewhere. Behind every successful establishment stood a woman who built it. Madame Lou Bunch photographed in the 1890s. She owned and operated a prominent brothel in Central City, Colorado. She didn't work for wages. She managed the books, controlled the business, and answered to nobody. The frontier offered power that existed nowhere else for women. The everyday environment shaped everyone's experience. This 1890s saloon interior shows bartenders serving in the typical boomtown environment. Simple bar, basic furnishings, men drinking constantly. This was where social interactions happened, where news spread, where deals were made. Respectable and disreputable shared space, because survival demanded cooperation. Private moments rarely appeared in photographs. Captured in the 1890s, two women in night attire near a dressing table in a private space. These quiet scenes behind a performance rarely survived. Getting ready, counting earnings, existing outside the constant gaze of paying men. This was real life when the performance ended. Social interactions extended beyond transactions. An early 1900s photograph shows women and clients mingling in a brothel hallway. These semi-public spaces allowed conversations, negotiations, familiarity between repeat customers and preferred women. Regular clientele meant steady income instead of dangerous uncertainty. Some women outlasted the frontier itself. Mattie Silks, born Martha Reddy in 1846. She operated across Colorado for decades. By her death in 1929, she'd witnessed the entire transformation from lawless frontier to settled civilization. 83 years, most spent controlling her own destiny in a world designed to deny women power. Success could transform everything. Emma Lillis Quigley photographed in the 1880s, wearing fashionable attire and expensive jewelry. This reflects her transformation during the frontier era, when such changes were documented throughout boomtowns. She arrived with nothing and built wealth through determination. Her success was noted, photographed, and remembered. Denver became a center of the trade. Jenny Rogers operated a prominent brick brothel in Denver's red light district during the 1880s and 90s. Brick construction signaled permanence, not temporary shelter. She wasn't hiding or preparing to run. She built something meant to last because she planned to stay and profit. Outlaws and brothel owners crossed paths constantly. Creede, Colorado, 1892. For women inside Bob Ford's establishment during the boom. The same Ford who shot Jesse James 10 years earlier. He fled west, opened a brothel, and started over. Killers became businessmen. The frontier rewrote every rule. Most women remain nameless. Unidentified Denver women from the 1890s, associated with the city's red light district during the mining boom. No name survived. They worked, lived, died, and history forgot them. But their photograph didn't disappear. Anonymous yet undeniable proof of lives lived outside what polite society wanted to remember. 34 photographs from a world that existed everywhere, but appeared in almost no history books. These women built businesses, formed relationships, and survived in an America that needed them desperately while condemning them publicly. If these images changed how you see the Old West, leave a comment and share this video. Subscribe to History Unveiled for more hidden stories from America's past. The truth was always more complicated than the legend.